good progress. They'd overtaken 3 boats and were in a strong position.
The only position I want to be in is upright.
And alive. And dry.
Oh, I need a wee.
Not now, Di, not now.
Here comes another wave!
The waves were several metres high, and Poppy would climb up the upside. And then surf down the downside at around 15 knots.
And the whoopies were great.
Whoopee! It's a nautical term, apparently.
Get a grip, girls. We're slamming from side to side.
We must stay in the race channel, or else we're gonna slam into that flipping Fred Olsen ferry thing over there.
Pull!
Right. God, if you lose control of the oars or the steering, the boat just swings round sideways.
And it's a bugger to swing it back.
As night fell, the weather worsened.
And now we can't even see where the waves are coming from.
We can hear them, but we can't see them. But you blimmin' well know it when they get here.
They're coming straight over the side and swamping the boat.
It's like sitting under the Niagara Falls.
In heavy rain. The scuppers can't cope.
The ladies battled with monstrous waves for 7 hours, but kept their spirits up by singing.
We're all going on a summer holiday. No more working for a month or 2. Fun and laughter on a summer holiday. No more worries for me or you for a month or 2. We're going where the sun shines brightly. We're going where the sea is blue. We've seen it on computers. Now let's see if it's true.
And then suddenly, it all stopped.
And that's how the Atlantic was. Things didn't change gradually, but suddenly, like suddenly slipping into a different world. And now we could row calmly.
The only consolation is the people we're doing this for are suffering far worse than we are. Meeting!
I'm starving. All I've had is a satsuma and a packet of fruit pastels in 7 hours. I feel so sick I couldn't face anything else.
None of us do. None of us feel like eating, but we must eat to keep our strength up.
Well, I'm all right when I'm on deck and I can see the horizon, but not when I'm in the cabin. As soon as I lie down, whoa!
And it's no fun being sick in a cabin. You have to sleep with the smell.
But if we don't have the strength to row, then they'll have to come and rescue us.
I'm not having that. There is no way I'm getting off this boat. What would people think?
And the other thing is night rowing. I think the wisdom of rowing at night is questionable, certainly in these seas.
You just can't see the waves coming. A wall of water hits you sideways and knocks you off your rowing seat, which is bad enough, but then you lose control of the boat.
And if you're on the second set of oars, you keep crashing into the blades of the first set because you can't see them to miss them. And then you dig in with your oars without being able to see if there's any passing wave to dig into. You pull back and you fall off your seat.
And a capsize at night. That would be truly awful, really scary.
So, let's not row at night.
What?
Well, we'll put all our efforts into the daylight hours and then rest at night. We can cast out a rope from the stern to stabilise our direction, like a long rudder, and just drift. We'll row 30 miles by day and then drift 10 by night. We're not planning to get there first, we just want to get there. Agreed? Papa, Oscar, Papa Yankee.
Duty officer here. All well after the storm?
Battered but brave.
You've done well. 3 boats got caught up in the vortex off La Gomera and couldn't get away from the island. We've had to tow them back in. They've retired, but you haven't.
Right, come on ladies, back on the oars.
as big as houses, but it's difficult to know.
We need a yardstick. Sharon!
Who are you calling a stick?
Well, you're the shortest. We can measure the waves in Sharons. 1 Sharon, 2 Sharons, 3 Sharons. A really old shit wave could be 10 Sharons.
I didn't come all this way just to be a waveometer.
Day 4, and we were all feeling a bit queasy.
Eat, row, sleep, row. Ooh. Eat, row, sleep, row. Eat, row, sleep, row. Eat, row, sleep, row.
Oh, sorry, Elaine. The movement of the boat was so confused that I could barely keep drinking water down. We've all lost our appetites and are low on energy. And the vicious circle of being cold, tired and hungry just makes matters worse. So, Sharon called the duty officer.
Would you say that you're the least affected?
I suppose so, yes.
Then you must take charge. Take control of the catering arrangements and make them eat. No food means no energy. And no energy means that you'll not be able to continue and we'll have to airlift you off. At a cost.
Well, that's what he said. And we simply can't afford to be rescued. So come on, show me your empty cups to show me that you've eaten.
It sounds easy to make a meal. Just open the packet and add water. But not in the middle of the sea when you've got cold hands and wet scissors. First, you have to boil the water. Then pour it into the wobbling pouch and let it sit for 15 minutes. Where do you put it while it does that?
And then, when you try and pour it into your mug, half of it blows away. And then when you try and eat it, the other half blows away. It's not exactly appetising.
So, Sharon has resorted to turning our dull survival rations into fantasy food to tantalise the taste buds.
Sharon's cafe is open for business, huh? Cappuccinos all around. And for afters we have orzo bolognese, fresh parmesan, and basil. And for the wine, Merlot or Shiraz?
Oh, Merlot, please, Sharon.
Argentinian or Australian?
Got any Italian?
2012, do you? You know, you're not going to believe this, but I have found, tucked away, some vacuum-packed fresh fruit.
Oh, I didn't know we had any fresh fruit.
I didn't either. I must have packed it last summer and completely forgotten about it.
The turning point for Elaine was when she found a Fry's chocolate cream and ate it.
And enjoyed it.
Oh, Elaine, that's wonderful. I am so proud of you.
Day 8, our first technical problem.
What's the thing on the end of the brown wire called?
The bilge pump.
It pumps the seawater out the bottom of the boat.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but I don't think it's working.
Well, I could phone Justin. He said we could.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, I've never had a bilge pump pack up before.
Well, could it be a fuse? It's gurgling, but it just won't pump.
Well, it's more likely to be clogged up. But what could possibly clog it? Have you been washing your hair?
Maybe.
The bilge pump is under the life raft, which you have to lift up to get at it. It weighs 40 kilos, so you might want to wait for a calm day. Meanwhile, there is a manual pump.
We never did get a calm day.
So hand pumping became part of the daily routine.
Eat, row, sleep, row, pump. Eat, row, sleep, row, pump.
It was day 8 when Sharon got her news. Ian on the phone for you.
Ooh. Hello. In the middle of the Atlantic. Where did you think? Oh, yes. Oh, no. Oh, thank you, Ian. No, I'll be all right. I've got the girls here. I love you. I miss you. It wasn't a very good line.
Oh, what is it?
Can we help? My friend Helen, from church with motor neurone disease. She died 2 days ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too, Sharon.
She was such a lovely person. Everybody knew her down at the shops at Baston Hill, and she was going to be a grandmother. Oh, I'm just shedding so many tears on this trip. The Atlantic gets wider and wider. Oh.
What would you like to do?
I think I'd like to row you. To talk to God.
Or just knock on the cabin door if you need us.
Dear Lord, Helen's faith will see her through, and she knows she's coming to you. But please, Lord, look after her family. And thank you. Thank you for her life. Disturb us, Lord, who boldly dare to venture on wilder seas, where storms will show your mastery, where losing sight of land we find the stars. Disturb us, Lord, as we push back the horizons of our hopes, in strength and courage, hope and love, where losing sight of land we find the stars. This we ask of our true captain, Jesus Christ the Lord. Amen.
Meeting! People will want to know how our personalities blended.
Well, I think they blended really well. That's why we made it. I mean, we're all natural leaders in our own careers, but it became clear from the outset that you, Di, should be captain.
You are the oldest.
With the most knowledge of the sea.
And you have the loudest laugh. See?
If you think of people in terms of dogs, then you, Di, are a cocker spaniel, always springing up on people.
Oh, no, I'm not.
And Sharon is a British bulldog, dependable, solid as a rock.
Oh, and what about you?
Rottweiler.
And we all move differently. Now, Sharon makes her way around the boat like a dog.
I beg your pardon?
Well, you're always on your hands and your knees and cocking your leg to get over obstacles. Whereas Elaine, you on your hands and knees, going sideways like a crab facing the sea. But I'm on my hands and my feet like an ungainly baboon with my bum in the air.
Talking of bums, I think you do need to let it get a bit more air to your bums to help heal those scabby seesaws.
They are absolute agony, aren't they? Your bum looks like a pepperoni pizza.
Oh, well, so does yours. But not Sharon's.
Well, speaking as a nurse, I don't think those wet wipes that you're using are doing you any favours. They're impregnated with perfume, which reacts with the sea salt. Much better to wash your bum with fresh water and then let it dry, sticking up in the air like that.
Thank God no one can see us.
Come on, girls, back on the oars. It's Christmas Day tomorrow.
Eat, row, sleep, row, prezzies all the way. Eat, row, sleep, row, it's nearly Christmas Day. Hooray! Eat, row, sleep, row, prezzies all the way. Eat, row, sleep, row, it's nearly Christmas Day.
Opening the presents from home was a real psychological boost. You see pictures of joyous astronauts doing it in the space station, and it was the same for us.
Although it did remind us how far we were from home.
My friend Tina had made us a Christmas cake. It was only the size of a baked bean tin to save space, but it was the best Christmas cake ever.
And then it was New Year's Eve.
I'll be staying up till midnight.
You bet. Well, somewhere I have stashed away, especially for the occasion,
Something that I bought at the boat show. Oh, it's not fair. Those tins of pre-mixed gin and tonic. Well, the salt's corroded them and all the booze has leaked away.
What? All of them?
Yeah,
That's a disaster.
yeah. It's not having a drink that matters, it's not having a celebration, you know?
Oh well, we'll just have to make do with Prosecco!
Oh. Eat, row, sleep, row. Eat, row, sleep, row. Eat, row, sleep, row. Eat, row, sleep,
Bobby, this is Son Tiki.
We'd not seen a soul for 5 weeks when suddenly...
A sail!
Poppy receiving, over.
Hello, this is the Atlantic Challenge support yard, the Son Tiki, and this is your racer doctor, Thor speaking. You know, the fabulous Scandinavian guy with the fabulous hair and body like a six-pack. Use your imagination.
Ooh, Scandinavian men. I hope he's got warm hands.
You have reported a medical condition that is looking at over.
Yes, it's my toe. There's a big blistery thing on it and I think it might be infected.
Okay, I will have a look at your toe. Over.
Oh. And all our bottoms are really blotchy.
I will have a look at your toe. I will swim over. Over.
Oh, good, because there's another medical condition we'd like you to take a look at. Quick, girls.
The supporter yacht to Son Tiki had been shadowing the fleet ever since it left La Gomera. Taking photos and dealing with medical situations. I'm a little worried about Elaine, Paul. The antibiotics do not seem to be helping. Hello! Oh, well, this is like a scene from Baywatch.
Doctor, we've been at sea for so long, we've a medical emergency for you to take a look at.
Or maybe a scene from Planet of the Apes.
Doctor, do you have anything to help us?
Scissors! A razor!
You have better beards than most of the men. How are you all? Pneumonia?
Completely under control.
Oh, you know, you've had some of the worst conditions in years. How are you coping?
We're all right, yeah. The seasickness was the worst, and the waves were frightening.
The around-the-world yachtsman Francis Chichester used to say that you should never measure waves in feet or meters, but in increments of fear. So, how scary were your waves?
As scary as 10, Sharon.
Oh, pretty scary, eh? 5 boats have now withdrawn from the race. The latest 2, one caught fire and they had to abandon ship. The other capsized.
Capsized? Oh no.
Yes, both crews had to take to the life rafts and pull the pins on their locator beacons. Signals were picked up in Foulmouth.
Well, we've had a couple of knockdowns, but we haven't capsized yet.
Well, don't worry. The forecast is good. You're in no danger of capsizing now.
Those words came back to haunt us.
Have you seen much wildlife?
Oh, an albatross and some stormy petrels.
Any mammals?
Only you.
How are you coping psychologically?
Oh, we're fine.
Some crews have reported ocean mirages, like desert mirages, but at sea. The Marie Celeste, a pantomime camel, a fantasy Italian restaurant, Whitney Houston surfing.
We've not seen her, but we've heard her.
Oh, well, let me have a look at your toe. Oh, no wonder the antibiotics are not working. That's not an infection, it's a burn. Have you been playing with matches?
They're all damp.
Oh, but the jet boil stove is right by my steering foot.
Well, let me give you some arnica for your toe. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
And this for your beards.
What is it?
Vanishing cream. Rub some of that in and I guarantee that the beards will be gone the moment that I swim away. And now I must vanish myself. So, good day, ladies, and good luck.
Oh, are you not going to stay for supper?
Sorry, I can't.
But it's caviar and strawberries.
Sorry, oh, I nearly forgot to tell you. The first boat has arrived in Antigua. The 4 oarsmen in 29 days. It's a new record time. 3 more crews are due later today. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Scandinavian men.
Where have you been keeping those strawberries then, Sharon?
I'm afraid, in my imagination. Oh, it's so sad to see him go.
Eat, row, sleep, row, dream of men. Eat, row, sleep, row, dream of men.
Meeting! So, the first crews have begun to arrive. And we're only a third of the way there. We're pootling along at Such a rate, we're not going to get there until April.
I don't want to be at sea that long.
Ian's been seeing how slow our progress is on the tracker. Aren't you back at work at the end of March? And we need the income.
So, let's turn this stroll into a sprint. Now look, we're only doing 25 miles in a 12-hour day. We should be doing 50. So, I'm afraid there's only one thing for it. We need to row at night again. I know it's not popular. I hate it as much as you do.
Look, I want to get there for half term so that Steve and Shay can come and meet me. So, I will volunteer to do a 5-hour night shift, solo, in the middle of the night, if you two will row before dawn and after dusk.
That's fair enough. Ian and Ginny are coming out to meet me. I am sorry about Brian Dye.
Oh, that's all right. I'm pleased for the pair of you. Now, let's get going.
I'm going to make us a poppy nav.
I beg your pardon.
A poppy nav? Well, it's a whiteboard really, but I'm going to mark the days from 30 down to 1, and I'm going to write how many miles we do each day. So, we've got 1,549 miles to go, and we want to get there by half term.
Oh, please, Valentine's Day would be brilliant.
So that means there's 30 days at 50 miles a day, which means 25 in daylight, 25 at night.
Sounds like a plan.
That means that's 18 strokes a minute. Bloody hell, more effort please. Sorry Sharon, you're up next.
I dreaded the sun going down. It meant that I'd have to go out on the oars and row in the dark. I'd hit a low, a real low, and sometimes I'd be there in floods of tears. The Atlantic did just seem to get wider and wider. So dusk was a real downer for me. But dawn was different. I'd be out on the oars at 7 o'clock, and I knew that it got light by 9. It was something to look forward to, and then I'd get company up on deck.
It was tough for all of us, but knowing that the further we rowed, the sooner we'd see our families again was a real incentive. Except for Di. Brian had said all along he wasn't keen to come to Antigua. Something to do with the dog. But then...
Hi, Di. Where are you?
In the middle of the Atlantic.
Oh, well, I've got my plane ticket.
Oh, why? Where are you going?
Oh, well, I've been watching the first few boats arrive in Antigua.
Oh, well, really?
Yeah, it's all been streamed live on the internet. Such an emotional scene. The boats arrive and the rowers leap off into the arms of their loved ones, hugging and kissing, and they drink champagne. And the rowers look so pleased to see somebody there to greet them. I didn't want you to be the only one without anybody, so I got my plane ticket.
You're coming?
Yeah, and Sal said she'd look after Meg for us. Only one thing, I couldn't buy a flexi ticket, so please don't be late.
Oh, Brian, that's wonderful. Brian's coming to meet us.
Oh, brilliant!
Talk about motivation. Brian's decision made a huge difference to us all. It made us feel like singing. Yoo-hoo!
I've not got a lot, but with me that's fine.
Whatever I got, well, I know it's mine.
I don't hang around with the local crowd.
I don't dig what's in,
So I guess I'm out.
I'm telling you things so you know me, maybe.
So you'll understand what I'm all about.
The boat that I row will cross the ocean. The boat that I row will cross the sea.
I put on the oars to give me the motion.
The boat that I row's big enough for 3, you and me.
ain't no one gonna tell
don't worry about all the things I'm not. There's only one thing I want I ain't got. You know I'm sailing the deep blue sea. The wind's in my face and I'm feeling free. The boat that I row will cross the ocean. The boat that I row will cross the sea. I pull on the oars to give me the motion. The boat that I row's big enough for three. You and me.
We actually had 2 toilet buckets, the Invincibles. Show 'em the bucket and chuck it routine, girls.
Was the watchword.
Elaine tended to use her bucket on deck.
Well, there was nobody watching except us.
Whereas we preferred the more refined indoors approach. Not that it looks terribly refined.
Going for a cabin crap was a feat of gymnastics. We usually slept top to toe, and every spare inch of the cabin was stuffed with something or other.
Sleeping bag.
Food.
Equipment.
Wet weather gear.
Fat phone.
All of which had to be shuffled around to use the bucket.
We also had to shuffle each other. It was like playing a game of Twister every time you needed a wee. And we had to do it in the middle of the cabin for the headspace.
I'm going to go on first.
Right.
And I'll just get my leg over the top. Right, okay. Hang on, I'm just going to twist it round. I don't want those metally bits.
Oh, yes, yeah, be careful.
Sticking in me.
Yourself.
Right. Oh, I'm on. Oh.
Right. Now, how long are you going to be?
It could take a while, this one.
Can I unfold my legs then?
Oh, sure, yeah, no problem.
Oops, done.
It's happened.
No,
I'm supposed to lose weight on this trip. Ow! Oh, broken the seal. It's good. We're good. Ah, right. I'm off. Right. Get my leg over.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm stuck now. Hang on.
It's my turn yet then?
Yeah, hang on. Just let's not spill it. Right. Okay.
Right.
You're on.
Avert your gaze. I'm just gonna.
You got it?
Come on. Oh, gosh.
You've got enough space.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't move your knees.
You doing a number 1 or number 2?
Number 2.
Oh, God.
Right. Shall I empty it or will you?
You're the captain. And it's blowing a hoolie out there.
Oh, all right, but that does mean I need the door end.
Oh.
You'd wait until you heard a wave crash on the cabin door because you knew there'd be a gap before the next one. And then you just had to scramble to the side of the boat. Oh, hang on. Wind's changed.
Other way.
Other way. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The bucket and chuck it routine.
Thank you.
Oh, Elaine, why don't you show them the flying fish routine?
Oh, yes.
But I have to. For they're horrible, really. Slimy, slippery things, covered in slithery scales and smelling of rotten fish. I was rowing alone, late one night. We'd seen them during the day, coming up out of the water, flying across the boat and then just plopping back in again. In daylight, they avoided the boat. But at night time, the navigation light attracted them to it. It was 2 a.m. Peaceful as anything. When there was a thump, followed by a thumpety, 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 thump. And I thought, I know what that is. It's an effing flying fish. And it's fallen to the bottom of the boat. And it can't get out. And it's too big to push through the scuppers. I'm gonna have to pick it up. But it's all right, because I'm not fluffy. I'm not. Oh, bugger, 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 I am. Right, you can do this. You can. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, I can't. You can. You can do it. But it's all slimy and smelly. Oh, I don't want to.
Why don't you use a surgical glove?
No. Oh,
Go
on. All right. Right. Where are you, you bugger? Right. And I got my hand round it and I picked it. And it slipped out and landed on another part of the deck. And I got my hand round it and I picked it up and I threw it away. And I just thought, oh, I wouldn't want to go through all of that ever again. When old shoal of its mates turned up, and one of them hit me in the face. When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the girl who wakes up in a sweat. Condensation will be running down my face, and everything I own is soaking wet. When I get up, well, I know I'm gonna smell that most unusual breakfast dish. When I get up, well, I know I'm gonna smell that decomposing flying fish. Well, I drove 1,500 miles and I drove 1,500 more. Yes, I would row 3,000 miles with blistered hands and arse so sore. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Oh Lordy, won't you grant me just one wish? La 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Won't you get rid of those effing flying fish? From La Gomera to Antigua, all I'm gonna see is sea and sky. It's the Atlantic, it's gigantic. It's a little bigger than the River Wye. This should be easy. I'm feeling queasy. I'm feeling seasick and I need a crap. Pass me the bucket, fill it and chuck it, and a flying fish has landed in my lap. Yes, I drove 1,500 miles and I drove 1,500 more. Yes, I would there's nothing really anyone can say. I'm sick of sea smells, I'm sick of sports gels. All I want's a Chinese takeaway. Yes, I drove 1,500 miles and I drove 1,500 more. Yes, I would roll 3,000 miles with bluster hands and arse so sore. La 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 la, la 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 la. Oh Lordy, won't you grant me just one wish? La 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 la, la 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 la. Won't you get rid of those effing flying fish?
In view of your bravery in the face of the enemy and with the enemy in your face, we hereby present you with the much coveted Flying Fish Award. It's just a piece of silver gaffer tape cut in the shape of a fish, really, but hey, you earn that. Thanks. They're horrible, really. But not as bad as that shark I saw earlier. What shark? Well, it was only a baby, about 3 feet long, you know, but where there's a baby, there's generally a mother nearby. Come on, it's time for my birthday. January the 30th is my birthday. Tuesday. And where were we? The middle of the Atlantic. Well, a bit over towards the other side, actually. And it was utterly miserable. It had squalled all night and rained all day. And when we went out to row, we got drenched. And then we took all our stuff into the cabin, and so it got wet in there. And then when we went back out to row, it was still raining, and we got even wetter. I opened the cards from the folks at home, and the photographs made me cry. I pray to God every day, but especially on my birthday, and I thank Him for my life. Dear Lord, thank you for creating me. And as an afterthought, any chance of some sunshine? Dolphins? I thought not. But then, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it stopped raining. And the sun came out. And the water was smooth, not a ripple, and calm and still. And it was that night of that January supermoon. Do you remember it? And the sea around Poppy was illuminated. And for once, rowing at night was a pleasure.
Knock, knock, knock. My turn. You've done a good birthday stint. 10 miles.
Ooh, have I? Thank you, Lord.
Let me take the oars.
Elaine, if you saw any wildlife, you would be sure to wake me up, wouldn't you?
Sweet dreams. What a strange thing to say. I've seen nothing to speak of the entire journey. Why would she say that? It is a gorgeous night. I do feel blessed. Such a unique experience.
or dolphins, one or the other. I don't know which.
Well, what can you see?
Well, I can see their backs, dark shapes, swimming beside Poppy on both sides, and diving underneath.
Well, they're too small to be whales.
I know what they are. They're dolphins. And they're doing a little dance with Poppy.
Playing with her.
How wonderful to be in their midst.
Well, then stop rowing. You don't want to hit one with an oar.
Shall I get the video camera?
Oh no, let's just enjoy them. So magical.
It's beautiful. Oh, thank you, Lord.
Let's have a picnic. And I've got a surprise for you. Happy birthday. Saint Sharon of the Seven Seas.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
how lovely. Thank you. You know, nobody's experiencing anything like this anywhere on the planet tonight except for us.
The Mountain of Doom. That's not its real name. It's a seamount, 17 degrees north, 58 degrees west. And the depth of the ocean is suddenly reduced from almost 6,000 metres to just over 3,000. In other words, the water is compressed into a space half what it should be. Shipping generally avoids it, and Poppy was heading straight for it.
Come on, ladies. Only 400 miles to go.
I don't like this one bit. Feels like the sea's coming from 3 different directions at once. Like the water's getting thicker and pulling the oars out of my hands.
Well, let's make sure the cabin doors are shut tight. Jesus, this is hard.
The sea just looks so confused.
This is the scariest sea we've had.
Pull left. Pull left.
No, pull right. Oh, this is just crazy.
This is ridiculous.
This is the spookiest seas I've ever seen, Sharon. Take a look at the charts.
There's nothing to see. The contours are just closer together.
God, I think I know what this is. I think this is that underwater mountain Justin told us about.
Well, what did he say?
He said, avoid it at all costs.
And is that where we are?
Oh, I think so.
Oh, no. Oh, why didn't we look at the charts before we set off? We just didn't have time.
Well, let's just keep on pulling. We don't want to get rescued this close to the finishing line.
How embarrassing would that be?
Now, according to this tracker, we are going to arrive on the 12th of February.
Well, that means there's less than a week to go.
7 sleeps, and we'll be there.
Only we don't really have sleeps.
No, but Bryce Blight will have arrived by then.
And Steve and Shay.
And Ian and my lot.
Oh, perfect. What could possibly go wrong now?
Justin calling Poppy. Justin calling Poppy.
Pop-
Come in, Poppy.
Poppy receiving, over.
Good morning. Where are you?
In the middle of the Atlantic.
If you were, it wouldn't matter so much. But now you're approaching Antigua, it does.
Well, why? I don't get it.
Well, I've been following you on tracker to check your position.
Well, it's great, isn't it?
No, you're in the wrong place.
What? Well, we have just entered a new waymarker into the navigation system and got a strange result.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. Look, Antigua is 12 miles long and Nelson's Dockyard is at the southern end. You're missing the northern end by 20 degrees. I mean, if you were in the middle of the Atlantic, it wouldn't matter so much. But now you're close to the finish, it does.
So, now what? Is there something wrong with the navigation system? Have you got a manual?
No, you have.
Oh, God, where?
Oh, it's all right, Di. Look, I got it up on my phone. Check your chart setup. Are you in magnetic north or true north?
Magnetic.
Well, you should be in true. You've done 3,000 miles on the wrong course.
Oh, no!
Don't worry. I won't tell anyone if you don't.
Eat, row, sleep, row, change course. Eat, row, sleep, row, change course.
11 a.m, Monday the 12th of February 2018. A beautiful day. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Poppy is just 37 miles from Antigua and should make landfall by dusk. But on the island, a severe weather warning is in force. The sea charts are red all over. Where the Atlantic waves crash over the edge of the continental shelf, the seas are running as high as can be. No ships are being allowed into or out of Nelson's Dockyard under any circumstances. It's a meteorological trap. And Poppy is heading straight for it.
We're all going on a summer holiday. No more working for a month or two. Fun and laughter on a summer holiday. No more worries for me or you. For a month or two. Look at that wave, Sharon. Sharons, would you say that wave was, Sharon?
I don't know, Elaine, but it's the biggest blooming Sharon we've seen.
I was in the aft cabin, aware of the mounting seas. I didn't see what happened next, but I certainly felt it.
We're climbing. Oh my God, we're climbing.
Oh, Poppy's never been vertical before.
I can't believe it. We're still climbing. Check your harness just in case.
I hope we're not going to pitch pole.
Like a cartwheel, head over heels.
Poppy wouldn't do that, would she?
No, but we've never been this high up on a wave before.
That wave's cresting. There's water flooding in everywhere. We're going to drop.
And the weight of the water caught an oar and pushed us over to port.
Look out! Brace! Brace! Brace!
Water poured into the web of the boat with such force we skewed over sideways and turned upside down. Everything in the cabin flew around my head. Sleeping bags, stove, scissors, as if in slow motion.
And I was upside down, underwater, waving around like a rag doll, bent over backwards.
The weight of the water pinned me against the boat. Piles of water landed on top of me. I couldn't breathe, and I didn't know when it was going to stop.
I didn't panic. It was so weird. I felt so relaxed. There was nothing I could do.
And then, God bless her, Poppy righted herself.
Well, despite all that, you still got your sunglasses perched on top of your head.
And what about you? Came up holding your nose like a deep sea diver. Sharon, I'm so glad you were with me, that I wasn't on my own.
Me too. Me too, Elaine.
I wish we'd fixed that bilge pump. The boat is swimming. We're going to have to pump by hand.
We'll do it in turns. We'll take turns, but first of all, you better phone Race Command. Tell them what's just happened.
Do you know what? I'm still terrified.
Me too.
Me.
Right, we need to get this boat realigned with the waves. We're too vulnerable side on, and I would not want to go through that again.
And just as I was about to close the cabin door, it did happen again. This time we went through 360 degrees and Sharon was thrown clear.
But you hold me back.
Oh, so glad that I was with you that you didn't go over on your own.
Me too. Oh, let me go into nursing mode. Are you all right?
My leg, so much pain, I think it might be broken.
Well, can you wiggle your toes?
Yeah.
Can you waggle your ankle?
Yeah.
I don't think it's broken, but that's the biggest hematoma I've seen.
It's my pneumonia medication. I bruise really easily. How about you?
It's my sternum. I think I broke an oar and I fell backwards on it. But most of all, I just think we're in shock. Big time.
Come on, let's just get off this effing wreck and into the cabin. I don't want to row anymore.
Oh, me. Well, where's Di?
She's in your cabin.
Well, why doesn't she come out?
Maybe she's unconscious.
Di! 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 Open the door! Di!
On the phone! With one hand, and then bailing out the cabin with a yoghurt pot with the other. We need to put the stern line out to stop us swinging round again. You two all right?
I just want some time on my own to process the shock.
Oh, Sharon, you come in with me.
I can't believe how frightened I am. Video this for the BBC, just to show how frightened I am. I'm in the cabin. I've hurt my leg. I've got this massive thing on my leg. Sharon's hurt her chest and back. And the seas outside are just phenomenal. They're absolutely phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it. The waves look as big as 2 houses. And we've got broken oars everywhere. I don't want to row anymore. And in 2 hours it's gonna be dark.
Justin calling Poppy. Justin calling Poppy. Come in, please.
Poppy receiving, over.
How are you all? I heard about the capsizes.
We're battered but brave, mostly, and very, very lucky.
Oh, you certainly were. If you'd capsized seconds earlier as you were going through the cabin door, well, the cabin would have filled with water and Poppy would never have self-righted herself. What are you doing now?
We're feeling sorry for ourselves and we're covering in the cabin. We've got a stern line out to stabilise the direction.
I know, I'm afraid it's dragging you off course again. The rope's catching the currents and taking you north, towards the east coast of the island, and you daren't go anywhere near there. It's really horrible. The rocks and reefs that'll smash you up. Look, there's no time to feel sorry for yourselves. You've got to reel in that rope, get on those oars, and row, row, row.
What did he say?
He said, we've got to row, 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 or we'll be shipwrecked.
I didn't come all this way just to be shipwrecked.
No, I know you don't want to. I know it's the last thing you want to do, but we simply have to row. Look, you're the most injured, so you can be lookout, and Elaine and I, we'll do the rowing.
Come on, girls. Let's do this. Oh, where is Whitney when you most need her?
Coming, girls!
Row, row, row. Row, row, row.
Here I am, girls! Come on now, all together! I'm every woman, it's all in me. I can read your thoughts right now, from A to Z. Row, 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 row. I'm every woman, it's all in me. Anything you want to say, I'll do it naturally. Row, 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 row.
Oh, I can see a massive wave! It's at least 20 Sharons!
No, that's not a wave. That's headland. It's land.
We made it!
Well, not quite, but now we're in the shelter of land. We don't need Whitney anymore.
Bye, girls!
Bye, Whitney! Thank you! Right, what am I looking out for?
A boy to mark the finishing line.
A boy, but it's dark. How am I going to see a boy in the dark?
Well, it'll have a red light on top.
Well, I'm colourblind!
Well, it'll be to your port.
What? Whose port? Your port? My
It'll
port?
be on your right, but just keep your
On
eyes
my-
open and
on
we'll
my-
keep rowing.
Well, that's the Atlantic knocked off our list. What's next? Everest. The moon. We could be the first middle-aged ladies on Mars.
I've got babies to deliver.
And I've got a dog to walk.
Well, I've already got my next world record attempt lined up.
What?
To do the longest row possible in 24 hours.
What?
Oh, don't worry. I'll be on a rowing machine, in the dry, in a gym. What about you two? You should do something else. Something else extreme.
Oh, I've got it.
Extreme knitting. Hey, I can see a boy. And there's a boat. Oh, there's lots of boats.
The finishing line. Come on, Elaine. Just a few more strokes. Our families are waiting for us.
It's going to be so emotional. I think I'm about to be fluffy.
Let's count ourselves in.
5,
4,
3, 2, 1. Oh, come on. Let's set off the flares.
Oh, yes.
That's what they do. They set off the
Let's
flares.
synchronise them then.
5. Which way up does it go? I'm not quite sure. 1. This way.
Well done, ladies! Elaine, Sharon, bye! Welcome to Antigua!
Join us, Di Carrington, Sharon McGrath. Carrington.